Alright, so this is going to be my reaction to the Lilo and Stitch trailer. I have not seen this yet. I'm going to have the volume down real low here, as well as the playback speed gives me at 1.5 to see if this gets past copyright. I might have to try a few other things to make sure, because I know this is going to get struck, and this may not even see the light of day on YouTube. But I'm going to react to it. I'll try not to talk over it, because it is going to be pretty quiet. And then after that, I have some notes written down, and we'll go through that. So let's hit play. We're at 0, 0, 0, 1080. Come on, YouTube, you got this. Oh, okay. Oh, that looks pretty good. He took the red one. Yep. Oh my god, this looks good. Oh, Nani and Lilo. Oh. Elvis. Oh my. Oh god. Oh, is this where we're gonna meet Dave? Yeah, there's David. Oh, okay. Some original stuff here. Some stuff not from the cartoon. Ohana. Yeah. Oh. Oh yeah, the surfing scene. That's interesting. I'll be going to depth with that. Oh, Cobra Bubbles. Jumba, Prequely, I think. Oh, yeah. And the good old guy that drops his, Alright, we're gonna rewind this, because there's a few things I want to go through here. Well, actually, I'll slow it down. Oh, shit. I'll actually slow it down a bit. That's not slow. That is speed is right here. So I'll do 0.5. There's a lot to unpack there. And I had notes. I just realized I had notes. But I left them in the car. And I don't feel like going on and grabbing them again. So we got the Disney logo here, and it turns red. So we see it flashes red. I don't know if that's with all the logos, but it flashes red as a siren's going off at the Fed Federation Council base here. Yeah, you can see it beeps. There's a ship there now. That is pretty accurate to what it looks like in the actual uh, show, which I've had does Lilo and Stitch Federation ship. Reject. Avant images. So I would say that all things considered, this and this looks pretty good. So far, so good. So they got Stitch here in his red jumpsuit. That is one of his iconic looks. Let's see here, Stitch and red jumpsuit. Sports is for a little bit in the morning, or a little bit in the morning, a little bit at the beginning of the movie, of the original cartoon. Or I guess jumpsuit from the movie. This is just gonna give me. That's Leroy. We don't want that. So I guess right here is when he goes up and meets the frog, and then he gets hit by the semi. This is short right at the beginning of the movie. I don't see. Might be a bit of a difference here. We don't see. I mean, it's not gonna be exact, but all things considered, it looks pretty good. And we get the High Council woman here, which um, looks from what we see, I can't remember if we actually see a better shot of it, but High Council woman Stitch. There's a few things too that I didn't see too when going through this initially. Uh, I'm a little. There's a few characters. Actually, this is pretty good. So yeah, we see here beginning of the movie, Stitch is being held captured because he is an experiment. He's an atrocity. Jumbo created him in a lab as part of his experiments. He's experiment 626. Uh, the High Councilwoman wants to know what to do with him. And basically, Stitch escapes, and now it's up to Jumba and Prequel to go down and get Stitch before, uh, he wreaks havoc on the city of Hawaii. Yeah. So again, that police cruiser, if can I do that frame by frame? Not really. So we see escapes here. Uh, these, I guess there's a better shot there. I guess these hands, they'll come by and basically they're DNA sensitive to where there's a portion in the original movie where Stitch uses his mucus to get the cannons here, the robots here to shoot at him, and that leads to him being escaped. And then of course he takes the red one. So if we go back to the cruiser, this is what he steals. Now it's not as big, but we own Stitch. Maybe it's not the ship because I got ship. I mean, we need red cruiser. It's a punch buggy, or no, it's not punch buggy. Sorry, it's what he says in the and later on in the movie. But this is this is what Stitch steals. He steals the red police cruiser because who doesn't want red? Uh, I'm sure it's just the fact they're in space maybe looks a bit smaller than what it actually is.
He took the red one.
So of course, yes, he takes the red one, and now they're all trying to get him down out of the sky.
What
And
hideous.
then this is Jumba, I believe. I believe it's Jumba, and he's basically saying now which planet has my experiment landed on, which is another line from the original movie when the Federation councilwoman orders Prickly and Jumbo to go down to Earth and get Stitch before he terrorizes the city. But there's a fact here that Stitch is, I don't want to say allergic, but he he's not to water. He's what's the right word I'm looking for? Oh, I can't think of it. But basically, his molecules will shut down, and he'll pretty much, I don't want to say dissolve, but he will act violently and pretty much almost die if he's exposed to water for so much. And now that he's on Hawaii,
Is
you know that's why you're showing spots of the ocean here and
is
here, to really emphasize that Stitch came by on Earth to destroy a city. He lands on Hawaii, and he wants to destroy it, but then Leo informs him that it's all water, like 90% of the Hawaiian islands surrounding it, like majority of it's water. Now, this scene we get to see Nani for the first time, and Lilo. Lilo wishes for a friend because the friends, quote unquote, friends she has now are pretty bad. Uh, so she talks to Nani for a bit about why she's got to be good. If not, there's the protective services, which you'll get later with Cobra Bubbles. And then Leo wishes for uh, a new friend, and that's when we get the scene that there's a shooting star, but it's indeed, in fact, Stitch falling out of the sky. You can see it right here. This is where he's going to land. And when she says, I wish for a friend, she gets pushed over by Myrtle Evans, which is one of Leo's mortal enemies, you could say. You know, all the other girls are not, they don't like her. They don't invite her out to all the stuff she wants to do. and she basically avoids Lilo like the plague.
Like a best friend.
Stitch crashes there, and now she's wishing for a friend. There's something I want to bring up here with the lights flickering, and I don't know if the movie's going to do this. I would hope so, considering what they're doing. These lights flicker. Now, this could just be because the fact that Stitch just crash landed here, and of course the power outage around the entire island's be going haywire. But then we also get Sparky. I can't remember the experiment names, but I'm gonna look up Sparky, Lilo and Stitch, and he's an electric type. I almost said Pokemon there. He's an electric type experiment where he goes around, zaps everything, overcharges a bunch of electrical equipment, and he's like very prone to electricity. I believe this was the Lilo and Stitch movie, not or sorry, this was Stitch, not Leo and Stitch. So I'm kind of looking forward to see if they actually do that here. Probably not, but I figured it'd be something to at least bring up. So we get this shot here with Stitch maniacally laughing as soon as he gets on Earth. So we can see that here again. Again, like this is shot for shot, pretty much from the original movie. Green glow scene. So get this up. Images. Green glow. Stitch. Laughing. Fire. Laughing. Fire. Yeah, right here. Oh, don't know what that is. Can we go back? Yeah. So that's pretty accurate. So this whole movie, thank God they're not doing anything wrong with it like they did with almost a Moana because it's I'm trying to watch here soon. Is with like the Little Mermaid, uh, Snow White next this week I think. So the neighbor sees him and he's like, "What the hell's going on?" So it comes to Memorial Day, which is I think an American holiday. This scene is where Stitch has to pretend to be a dog to be adopted because he gets picked up by sorry he gets picked up by the Humane Society. So he wants to be adopted, and he goes. I'm pretty sure he looks up and he sees this photo because he sees that the dog is being adopted, so he looks to look more like a dog. So Leo will take him home. Of course, Leo freaks out.
He's so cute and fluffy.
He is your responsibility. Got it.
We promise.
Yeah.
And I think it's Chris Sanders too, still doing the voice. Now, here's the thing too. Elvis is very prominent in Lilo and Stitch. If you know the story behind that, you know. But if those that don't know, Elvis was very prominently recognized in Hawaii, to my knowledge. It's been a few years since I had to look up on it. But to my knowledge, Elvis stayed or was in Hawaii for a good while. Uh, and therefore shaped when they went to go make the original, they needed music inspiration and stuff like that, and they actually ended up going with a lot of Elvis songs. And if you want, you can learn more if you want to look it up. But we just don't have time here to go through it all. So we Stitch here being crazy. Uh, we get Hawaiian coaster ride, which is very much so uh, from the original movie.
No.
This wasn't in the original, to my knowledge.
Control him. Hey, what are you doing?
The CD, I don't. This CD is like super large for no reason. I don't understand why. Maybe it's. I've never seen them that big. So this scene here, I believe this is where Nani works or will work. I can remember she works there. I think she works there at the beginning of the original movie. And it's basically she's working there as a waitress, and there's David there as a fire breather, and then of course Stitch has to act normal like a normal dog would be, but it's Stitch.
No dogs on the table.
You should ask.
And there's David there. I believe it's not the original actor that played him in like 2000, that voiced him, I should say, back in 2002, 2003.
Dog.
But he's like, "Are you sure that's a dog?" Of course, Stitch being rebellious.
Yeah.
Rough.
There's this scene. I want to say it's Jumba or not Jumba. I I know it's not because they actually show what he's hovering, but in the original movie, Stitch hot wires. Actually, a good shot. The fur. Stitch hot wires Corporal Bubbles' car to get to Sparky before the Galactic Federation has a chance to get to him and take him away. But we see here he's actually hot wiring Lilo's little toy car here, which looks to be at school. Stitch is at a golf course. We saw this shot already of him at the beach destroying the sand. So that was one of the teaser, like 30-second ads for the Super Bowl, which I think is supposed to be for the shot that in the original where he has a city built. He has a city built of cars and he acts like Godzilla, kind of like he's doing here now. I don't know if they're gonna have that scene. This looks like to be possibly just a homage to it or maybe something different. This is new. That's new.
Keeping this thing.
Just him misbehaving. And then we get the model throughout the entire Lilo and Stitch. I guess we could say universe now because it has a anime. Uh, that Ohana means family, and family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. And if you've watched the originals, you know. And this saying is what uh, when Leo gets captured, or when Stitch gets I guess Leo gets captured too. When Leo and Stitch get captured by Gantu, uh, Leo or when Stitch is captured by Gantu for the first time, she says, "You won't forget me," or "Don't forget me." Or, I'm trying to remember. No, it's Leo that's captured by Gantu, and Stitch is the one gets blasted back. So there's that.
Family means nobody gets left behind.
And this scene too with Stitch, he's trying to get something out of the fridge, which is something he does in the original movie. 98 wakes up in the middle of the night, and Stitch is just there with like milk or water, or not water. I wouldn't imagine he's drinking water, but he has some sort of. He was drinking something out of the fridge. Now this is something I wish they. No, I know this movie's gonna make like a. I shouldn't say I know, but I have a very good chance this movie makes $1 billion. And I would love them to do Lilo and Stitch. Stitch has a glitch, and then Leroy and Stitch, because they had that going to Stitch movies. So because he had Leroy and Stitch, or Stitch the movie. Actually, Sparky actually wouldn't even be in this one. If I'm thinking about that, and you had Stitch has a glitch, and then there was Leroy and Stitch. So I would love them in some capacity to do a full franchise with all the other movies, because that would be pretty cool to especially see Leroy and and all that.
Bad.
The reason why I brought it up is because Stitch just thinks he's bad, which is what leads into Lilo and Stitch 2, because Stitch starts to break down on his cellular level, so he starts acting out and being bad. Again, this is not in the original to my knowledge, but again, it's been a few years. I wonder if this scene too is when I think it's right here when they're talking. I wonder if it's going to be when they bring up the fact that Leo doesn't necessarily have a mom or dad. and it's just not Nani because of an accident.
That was close.
I would imagine it's what it have to be because Stitch finds the family photo of Lilo and her parents uh, underneath her pillow, which she keeps every night, and then it's Nani that takes her in. And because Nani is constantly working and Lilo is left home alone a lot, that's when Child Protective Services comes in, and that's what Cobra Bubba is undercover while working actually for the the FBI. Actually, I even see that here. She might even have it on the wall instead of underneath her bed or underneath the pillow. Sorry. This scene right here, the surfing scene, is when Stitch freaks out and he goes underwater and then drags Leo down with her because he panics and he's just basically he's afraid of water. So that's one of his outbursts, and then that's the final nail in the coffin for Corporate Bubbles to come in and be like, "This is unfit." This is after Nani's had after job interview, and she keeps getting them messed up because she has to bring Lilo and Stitch with them everywhere that she goes because she can't leave them home alone. So every job interview that she goes for, uh, they ruin. So they're like, hey, this is not working, or something along those lines. Like, let's just take a break. Let's go surfing. Stitch falls into the water. Free freaks out, and Drake's Leo down there with her. I don't see David on here at any point, so maybe David's not in this scene. So you get our first look at Cobra Bubbles here. He actually looks like an actual an actual FBI agent. I like to point this out too. Oh, we're going too far. That he's trying to get Stitch back because he's working under the Federation for the High Councilwoman, and they're trying to get Stitch back and have him be destroyed because he's an abomination. So we can see that he's found one of his furs, a dog to catch, and we get our first look here at Jumba, and I'll explain why I think that's Jumba here in a minute. So we get them seeing some sort of weapon here. I don't know what that is. I know in the original movie they used net guns to capture Stitch, and I get it's more friendly orientated. If it's like animated, rated G, they can't necessarily use guns. But this one being rated PG, I can imagine, and especially this day and age, they can kind of get away or even do something better than just net guns. But I don't know what this fires. This fires something. Let's see. So I don't know if I saw something fire out of it. I just don't know. So we see Jumba. I'm assuming, yeah, and this is prequel right here. I gotta say, the way the prequel looks, uh, prequel Stitch. Let's see. No. Uh, Shift tab. Oh my God. Stitch. Prequel. Oh, Pleakley. Sorry, I don't know why. Oh my God. I gotta say, this looks very odd to see in live action, but so far, I mean, that's the thing too with Kingdom Hearts. That's the thing too with like live action animation and the CGI. It's just it doesn't work all the time, and to me, I feel like I mean this is probably not finished. You know, the movie does come out to May, and we're like what in April. or March, not April, almost April. So they got another month and a bit to pretty much 2 months to you know find like tune it down or tune it up or refine it, I should say. And I know it doesn't have to look exactly, and they're gonna change a lot, but we get our first look at our CGI prequel, and I think that's Jumba right there in his human form. I am curious to see what they get going here for Jumba. Jumba Stitch. I mean, I'm just curious. It's doing this in a live action form, or at least close to it. I actually had that toy growing up. I actually remember that. Oh, it'll be weird. We'll see. There's a few other characters that haven't been shown here yet that I'll break down here in a minute. So we get to see our famous guy here, the ice cream or slushy or what I call it. It's our ice cream guy, and it's a running joke within the Stitch series that whenever something crazy happens or out of this world or something happens around this guy, he just constantly drops his ice cream or even some even like is sorry, I lost my train of thought there. So basically, the running gag is that he just drops his ice cream or his slushy in this case. So we get to see that here. So we get this little scene here with Stitch. It's a fun little scene here where he's just having a showdown with Leo, trying to spray her down with water. Nothing too crazy here. But I do want to point out that this could be the orange juice stand that was in the series where Stitch liked. He liked the ball which he gave to Rector, which is another experiment that's created to, do shock waves throughout the island. So I'll see if I can find an image here of Stitch orange ball series. Images. No, I can't find it. Oh my god. No, that's not what I want. Stitch orange ball. Oh my god. What the hell? Stitch orange ball. Orange ball. If I can't find an image of it, it's whatever. But it's this, like, it's this little orange ball, or at least this orange thing that was on one of the stands that was in the area where Nani worked as a surfing board renter. So I'm just wondering if this is the same thing or not. But this was a thing in the series where she gave to Richter, the one who creates the shock the earthquakes. Of course, coming out in May. Now the thing they didn't show throughout this too was here. Let me get a full-on still image of Stitch. I guess I'll get this here. I couldn't pause up any better. So a few things that they didn't show. Of course, they didn't show. I mean, there's probably lots more that I can't think off the top of my head here now. But they didn't show they didn't show Gantu. It's just basically a giant shark, and he's the one that's out to capture Stitch, essentially. We also had Ruben, which is Ruben, or yeah, Lilo and Stitch. Ruben. He's the closest thing to Stitch, and then throughout the entirety of the series or in the movies, he's the one that works with Gantu to, and he makes them all this food. He basically Gantu grabs a experiment pod, and he thinks it's going to be a variant of Stitch, or he wants to get a version of an experiment to help capture Stitch, but he ends up just getting Reuben, which just he's a version of Stitch that just makes sandwiches. We didn't see Dr. Jean von Hamsterville. If I remember how to spell that, I'll show that off real quickly. Hamster, Lilo and Stitch, hamster, Hamsterville. So he basically he employs, uh, he employs Gantu to go and capture Stitch, and basically he's the higher up for Gantu amongst uh, the high councilwoman and whatnot. So there's that. Outside of that, I can't imagine show off Angel. That's Leo, or that's Stitch's. I said Leo. That is Stitch's love interest. So I doubt they're gonna show her off in the movie. Also, um, I'm interested to see if they do to change the chainsaw bit at the beginning. I can't. I think that's the second movie. Yeah, no, that's the second movie. If I'm thinking about that right. But so far, I'm pretty sure that's everything I could think of off the top of my head. No Gantu. Uh, Prequel looks okay, I guess, for considering. We haven't seen Jumba yet. Uh, we got to see a lot of good things from the beginning of the movie. Uh, I think this scene is going to have to be at the beginning of the movie. We didn't get to see Pudge the fish or Scrump. So just real quickly, we got Pudge the fish. That's the little fish that controls the weather, and Leo gives him a ham or jelly sandwich. We also didn't see Scrump. Scrump. Leo and Stitch. That's Leo's little doll that she has that's pretty much made of a pickle. Or not pickle, she puts it in a pickle jar at some point. Or sorry, no, I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking, oh my god, I'm thinking, my brain's just everywhere right now, but this is her little doll that she creates. But yeah, we'll see. The trailer just came out today, six hours ago. So we'll see. So far, I believe it's gonna make like $1 million or $1 billion. Sorry. And they really haven't been doing a whole lot of promotion for it, so hopefully that keeps their costs down a little bit. I know they had the Super Bowl ad where he ran out on stage, but that's pretty much everything I can digest from this trailer alone. Of course, they changed her outfit around. Uh, Stitch looks fine, and it is still Chris Sanders doing the voice, so I'm happy that at least he's still around doing what he likes to do, or likes the character at least. I hope he does. But I'm gonna end here. I'm just rambling on. Hopefully this doesn't get stricken down off of YouTube. I tried everything to keep it at least somewhat safe, I guess, but we'll see. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.